Shalom. Like to say all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the brothers out there doing the works in truth and sincerity. This is Kana Walk from GMS Toronto. I'm going into another lesson today. Quick lesson. I just got home. I saw this in the group chat. A brother sent this in the group chat. It says, just in, T.D. Jakes found dead in his West Virginia home. So, the Most High is bringing judgment upon you, you pastors, man. First, it was in 2016. The end of 2016, it was Eddie Long. He died of AIDS or whatever illness he had, which was most likely AIDS or whatever. But he died of a plague. Because he was molesting little boys. So the Most High brought judgment upon him, man. And more judgment's gonna come upon you pastors. The Most High started with the top of you pastors, man. The Most High is gonna bring more judgment upon you guys, man. Let me just read a little bit of this. This is just breaking news, so it's not really even out there in the news. I only saw it on 2 sites so far. So Scripture says, in the midst of 2 or 3 witnesses, man. So I saw it on 2 sites so far, so I believe it's true. That the Bishop T.D. Jakes, a so-called Bishop T.D. Jakes, is dead, man. It says popular African American pastor Bishop T.D. Jakes has been found dead in his West Virginia home in the wee hours of this morning, Virginia Time reports. According to a statement issued by the West Virginia police, there was no bloodstain and no sign of suicide. Preliminary investigations conducted by the police and yet to be backed by an autopsy report suggest forced poison intake, as forensic tests picked up samples of powdered substances believed to be poison. So yeah. The Most High is bringing judgment. So whoever poisoned this guy, the Most High put the spirit on them to do it, man. Because this guy, he robbed hundreds of millions of dollars from Jake, from his own people, teaching them lies instead of teaching them who they are. Because a lot of these pastors, they know the scriptures, man, or they know that we're the children of Israel. I'm sure that they read many prophecies and stuff, and I'm sure a lot of these pastors, they see us out there on the highways and byways, man. So you guys know that you're Israelites, and you guys willfully deceive our people, man. Into this whole Christianity doctrine where they believe that the Lord's a white man, and all kind of madness. Oh, it's okay to eat pork. It's okay to be a homosexual. It's okay, not to discipline your kids. All kinds of shit, man. You guys believe, man. You could go on and on with what a nigga believes in the church, man. So the Most High is gonna bring more judgment and more death upon you, you pastors, and upon you Jakes in the world, man. So let me just get this one scripture and just close up. It says, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people." It says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. So let's look up that word woe, man, in the Hebrew, man. That word's powerful, man. It's Hawa. Alas, of sorrow. We should really say death and destruction, man. When you go into the etymology, you could go on Edom online and you could look it up, man. It says, "Woe be unto the pastor that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord, and I will gather the remnant of my flock of all countries. So the Lord is visiting these pastors, man, of their evil doings. And a lot more of them is gonna get visited, man, of the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is he's gonna bring judgment, man. He has his death angels out there, man, who's bringing judgment upon people. It says, I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed. And that's going to be the elect, the 144,000, who's going to be the governing bodies, who's going to be the true shepherds of the flock. And the ultimate shepherd is going to be the Most High and his son, and King David, and then the elect governing body, man, who's going to be the nobles and the leaders of the nation, man. You know, it says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise up, as raised unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. So yeah, that's what's coming in the very near future, man. And you know, because we're coming to our rulership, man. The Most High is gonna raise up, you know, the so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans into power, man. You know, and we're gonna be righteous. So you know, so like how Eddie Long and T.D. Jakes is dead, now they're in their right state of mind, man. The Most High, you know, and the Most High had to kill them to make them, you know, like really come back to their senses, man. So now they're in the spiritual world, and they know who they are, and he's gonna be born back righteous, man. So you know, with that, I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, you know, and with that, I'd like to say Shalom and Kwam Yasharallah.